Thank you. You all may be seated. I'm sorry. Mr. Rogers and Ms. Guyger, would you please stand? The jury having reached a verdict, I will now announce it. We, the jury, find unanimously that the defendant did not cause the death of Botham John while under the immediate influence of sudden passion arising from an adequate cause, and assess the defendant's punishment at 10 years imprisonment in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. In addition, we assess a fine of $0, and it's signed by the presiding juror. Would you like to have the jury poll? Okay. Is there any legal reason why this sentence should not now be imposed? It is therefore the order, judgment, and decree of the court that you be taken by the Sheriff of Dallas County and safely transported by her to an agent or representative of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and there you shall be confined until your sentence is discharged. Your sentence will begin today, and you will receive credit for any back time that you have. That being concluded, you may be seated, Ms. Guyger. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you are now released from my prior admonitions not to watch, listen, read, or to speak to anyone concerning this case. Oftentimes the attorneys like to speak with you to see if there were things that they could have done better, or if there are questions that you might have. You are absolutely under no obligation to speak with them. If you'd like to, you can remain in the jury room. If you would not like to, we will certainly make accommodations to get you safely to your destinations. But on behalf of all the judges here in Dallas County and the citizens of Dallas County, I want to thank you for your service. Being a juror is a very difficult job, but you help us to establish what criminal justice means here in Dallas County and in the state of Texas. And we thank you for your attention, your time, and your service. Thank you. This has been a most difficult case, and I want you to know we appreciate your service. And if you find yourself still having difficulty processing it in the future, let us know, and we can provide some counseling for you. Okay? Again, thank you.
All right. Okay, so we can see in that courtroom, Judge, your reaction to the sentence?
It was less than I thought it would be. I had said earlier I thought it would be closer to 20 or around 20, and it's certainly on the low end of the range of 5 to 99 or life. They rejected the sudden passion defense like we anticipated they would. I don't think they spent much time on that at all, but it's certainly less than I thought this jury would give, considering the text messages, considering the other aggravating circumstances. So that tells me they probably had more empathy for her and her situation, and more belief that this was a tragic mistake, even if she was accountable for it, it didn't need to be punished beyond that 10 years.
Do you think that they would have, or can they talk about that when they're deciding the original guilt innocence, what they might think in terms of time? Or do you think there would have been any, like, because this, I mean, they came back with this in an hour and a half.
It was fast. And they are certainly instructed not to discuss anything other than the guilt or innocence issue during deliberations and guilt innocence. They are not supposed to discuss the issue of punishment, but most criminal attorneys believe that it occurs to some
And it's not
degree.
like it's not like somebody's back there with a court reporter determining what goes on in that room.
And not only that, nobody can ask them.